Buying a property in Dubai is easy from our experience. Selling it, on the other hand, well, that's a totally different story.
We are Malin and Jacob, and we've been living in Dubai for the past 3 years. On this channel, we've been taking you along our investment journey here in Dubai, and in this video, we will share our unfiltered process, how we sold our first apartment here in Dubai. So the reason why we sold this apartment was we had two options. One was to rent it out for long term, and the second was to flip it and get the price appreciation. When we get the handover, we saw that there was an increase in the supply in that area, so we said, let's try it out and see how it goes. And what we learned in this journey is timing is the key here in Dubai.
Yeah, and if you want the full breakdown of what we made on the property and so on, check out our previous journeys. You can follow it from the beginning. So let us take you through how to price your property correctly, choosing that agent that can help you through the process, what documents you can prepare to make it all a little bit easier, and then actually the step-by-step guide on what needs to happen and our surprises along the way. And then finally, we'll share some tips from us as buyers, but also now sellers in Dubai and what we learned. As for the pricing of the property, so what we did, basically, we did our own research. And the nice thing with the UAE is that all data and information is available to everyone. So check out DXB Interact, Bayut, Property Finder. Look at the recent transactions in the area. Look at the square feet price in the area, but also consider what developer you bought from. All these together, you could very easily estimate what type of price you should have on your property. And it all depends also, of course, if there's a tenant there or not. And this could be a benefit or disadvantage, depending on the buyer. Because some buyers actually want to buy a property where they have a tenant already, so they can get the rental income straight away. So all these together, that should give you a good idea of where you should price your property. Be careful with overpricing. I know we all want to make as much profit as possible, but what we've seen with the overpriced apartments or properties is that they tend to actually scare away people. So you need to invite them in, so make sure that your prices are realistic.
Choosing the right real estate agent is really important, but it's also really hard. The first thing you can do is check if they have a RERA license, because there's a lot of people who's claiming that they have it, but it's actually their boss. If you need any help, reach out to us. We are working with some amazing people over here.
Okay, paper and pen out. These are the documents you have to prepare. Firstly, have a look at your title deed. This is essentially the document you get that shows that you own the property or unit after handover.
The second is the ID, which could be both passport or Emirates ID.
Then you have the Form A. Form A is something you sign on DLD or Dubai Land Department, which regulates the contract terms you have with your agents or the commissions, and also the price you agreed on with your agent, and for them to advertise your property on all the sites.
And last one is the NOC from the developer, no Objection Certificate, which means or which shows that you don't have any debts to the developer.
Exactly, and the developer's letting you sell the property. And this one was a surprise for us because it took a little bit longer, and the property we had actually, the maintenance has been handed over to another company, which made us have to get NOC from that company first before we can get it from the developer. And this has actually delayed our selling process with over, I think, 2 weeks almost. So make sure you understand the NOC process because it took us by surprise.
Let's discuss the process then. So when you find a buyer, both parties sign the MOU, which stands for this, that outlines the prices, terms, and conditions. After that, the buyer pays 10% in deposit to normally the agent. So if the buyer pull out the deal, you normally keep the 10%.
Once that is done, you then go and get that NOC from the developer and you book your time at the trustee's office where you meet both parties, sign the deal, sign the contract, and you get that nice check that you can take to the bank and cash out and celebrate. Now you know the process and how to do it, but in reality, our experience was a little bit different. So there's a couple of things that surprised us.
So the first of all was the time. It took so much longer than expected, both to find a buyer, but also all the paperwork and the process to get it right.
Yeah, and then dealing with a lot of noise and agents. We got put on some list somewhere on a WhatsApp and my phone just exploded. The nice thing is that we already partnered with people that we trust, so we could remove a lot of the noise, but these messages promise you, gold, rainbows, and sunshine. So be very careful and filter through and make sure that you listen and find trusted advisors when you're selling.
And the third one is to be flexible, because it might be a lot of viewing. So what we did, we were there from the first viewing, but otherwise we have left the key to the agent and they did it all by himself.
Yeah, so a couple of things that could have saved us time. Then again, you have to experience it yourself. There will always be things that happen along the way. It won't go in a straight line, but it is a fun experience. And we'll keep on sharing it. We got some really interesting updates talking about investments coming to you guys very soon. So thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you like this content.
And don't forget to follow on Instagram.
Yes, and we'll see you very, very soon.
See ya!